Hi, boys and girls. Today is test 21, and I'm going to give you a prep. Hey, I put that in a shape. What shape is that? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are you thinking that's a trapezoid? Because it traps you into thinking it's going to be a parallelogram? Those sides are parallel. Oh, it's parallelogram. But wait. Oh, those intersect. They're not parallel. So that is a trap. It's a trap. It's a trapezoid. Okay? Other than my A you can't read. Okay, my trapezoid. Okay? So, fun start up. To answer your question, for those of you who are curious cats, okay? A grandmother from their riddle from yesterday, 2 mothers and 2 daughters went to a baseball game together and bought 1 ticket each. How many tickets did they buy in total? Now some of you might have been thinking, that's a trick question. It's just easy. But the answer is 3 tickets. Okay? The grandmother is also a mother, and the mother is also a daughter. Tricky, tricky, okay? All right. So, test 21, okay? You're going to be taking this test in just a little bit. So, a few little tips, okay? Numbers 1 through 4, okay? You're going to get a pie chart, okay? And you're going to be using this pie chart, okay? That's split up into different amounts of time and different things, okay? And it is talking about a day. How many hours are in a day, guys? Please tell me you know. It's not 12 hours in a day. It is 24 hours in a day, okay? So in this entire chart, there are 24 hours, okay? Well, let's just say, for the sake of not giving you answers totally, let's say that the whole chart was about something else, okay? Let's say it was about the ingredients you wanted to use to make an apple pie, okay? And it was split like this, okay? And maybe it said, okay, all these different things here, okay? And maybe this said 1/3, okay, was sugar. Okay, and the question said, okay, that's a bad example. Okay, let's say you got your pie chart. Let's just go to hours. Okay, and you're at work. Okay, for an 8-hour work day. Okay, so the whole chart is 8 hours, right? And let's just say half of your work day, okay, is, let's say, grading papers. And let's say 1/4 is teaching, and 1/4 is, what else could we say? Making lesson prep. Okay, so now they ask, it's 8 hours, okay, how many hours are spent grading papers? You'd have to figure out half of 8, okay, so that's kind of cool, okay, you can think about that, okay. Now your thing is split up into, what if I said, okay, what if I went the other way, okay, what if I said 4 hours, okay, are grading, 2 hours are planning, and 2 hours are, what did I say, teaching. Okay, so what fraction of your teaching day, your work day, would be dedicated to grading? You would say 1/2, okay? What fraction of your day would be dedicated to teaching? Okay, well, it'd be there's 8 hours, so it'd be 2/8. Okay, well then you could also bring 2/8 down, you learn that, can change into 1/4. Okay, so that kind of helps you think through that problem. Okay, one of your other problems is, okay, it asks you something about starting, how many hours are in a day. Okay, so let's say, we'll make a comparison here, we haven't done one of these charts in a while. Okay, you're going to work for 3 hours, and you're going to start at 10 a.m. Okay, so some of you guys would go 10, 11, 12, and you would write your answer 12 p.m. I'd be done. That's what time I'd finish my job. Okay, well let's think about that for 1 second. Okay, you can't go 10, 11, 12. Okay, because at 10 you haven't started working yet. Okay, you're just starting. You haven't completed a full hour. So if we start at 10 and we add 1 hour, and we add another hour, and we add another hour, totaling 3 hours. Okay, 10 a.m. plus 1 hour is 11 a.m. Another hour is 12. Now we go to p.m. and another hour is 1 p.m. So your 12 p.m. is wrong in your terms of thinking, because you don't start by saying 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. You start by saying, I start at 10. My first hour that expires is 11, then 12, then 1. Don't get tricked by that. Now, on to questions 5 and 6. Okay, it's going to tell you that you have 6 dogs, and each of them eats an amount of food. Okay, so think about this. This is not what this question says, but if each of them ate 1/3 pound of food, you write 1/3 inside each of them. Okay, and now how much food did they all eat together? Did you guys recently learn how to add fractions? Something like 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, and you'd keep doing that, and you would get an answer. Okay, yes, you did. Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's 6 dogs. They all ate 1/3. So I got 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 6. Does my denominator change? It does not. Thirds. Okay? So that's how much food, that's how many pounds of food they ate. Now if you jump down to number 8. Number 8. This is a huge help. It says, change the improper fraction 9/4 to a mixed number. So if you just had a question like that, okay, and you didn't see all that other language, 9/4 to an improper number, you would say, oh, that just means 9 divided by 4. That means 9 divided by 4, or 9 divided by 4. How do you do that? Okay, 4 goes into 9, how many times? Okay, let's just say it wasn't 9/4, so let's say it was 6/3. Okay, so it's no longer number 8, okay, but, okay, it's 6/3, okay, so 6 over 3. Okay, what do I do with that? It's 6 divided by 3, so it is 6 divided by 3. 3 goes into 6 2 times, 3 times 2 is 6, subtract 0, my answer is 2. So what does 6/3 become? 2, okay, but what if my answer would have been 7/3? Okay, and it still went in that many times, and I had a remainder of 1. Okay, now my answer would have been, read the clock, 2 and 1/3. 2 and 1/3. Okay, so that is how you do that. Okay, that will help you think through that for numbers 5, number 6, and number 8. Okay, swipe all that clean. Okay, and let's look at number 7. Okay, and you're welcome as you're taking your test to open up this video, go backwards, go forwards, pause it, replay it. Okay, on number 7 it says if the perimeter of a square is 88 centimeters. Okay, so you have a square. Okay, and the perimeter equals 88 centimeters. Okay, that does not mean that one side is 88 centimeters. What is perimeter when you think of this? You run the perimeter. So when you run here, and you run here, and you run here, and all the way back here, you total 88 centimeters. Okay, and you're going to have to figure out how long is each side. Okay, so that when you, on a square, every side is the same length. That's a biggie. Okay, you're going to figure that out. Have to maybe divide that up into how many ever sides there are or something like that. Okay, you guys try to figure that out. Okay, and then let's look at number 9. What fraction name is shown for that rectangle? The entire thing is shaded in. As a little bit of a hint here, okay? We had the big number ones in a recent lesson, and we did something like 3 over 3. So what fraction name for 1 is that? 3/3, okay? So if I have a circle form, okay, and I have 1, 2, 3, that's the same as having 1 whole, okay? Yours is a rectangle for number 9 though. Okay, number 10, it says Miriam bought 3 audio cassette tapes. What's that? Oh, that's, oh, glory days. That's what I listened to in my Walkman radio. I'd put this tape in there, and it would play this ribbon on the tape, and it would run through my Sony Walkman. I'd listen to that while I was mowing lawn. Yeah, okay, audio cassette. Okay, they don't even make those anymore. You could ask your parents what those are. Okay, so $5.21. Okay, she bought 3 of them. Notice that, 3 of them for that price. The sales tax was $1.17. She paid the clerk with a $20 bill. How much change should Miriam get back? I want to tell you, there's 2 steps to solve that problem. Okay, it's not just a 1-step problem, it's a 2-step. Okay, number 11, I want you to notice that A, number 11, okay, A11B. Okay, 11A, okay, it says, okay, millimeters for your answer. And 11B, okay, says centimeters, okay. Now 11A also, okay, so keep that in mind, okay. You gotta separate those, okay. I'm not gonna tell you more. Number 12, the freight train traveled 312 miles in 6 hours, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna erase some of this. Okay, go back to this. Look at this, I'm all over the place. Like an orange sunbeam back and forth, okay? So you guys got to think about, okay, traveling 312 miles, okay? So it starts here, and it goes over to here. This is 0 miles, and this is 312 miles. This is its railroad track, okay? It's a train, and it says it took it 6 hours, okay? So 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Okay, so you think about that, okay? And it says the train's average rate was how many miles per hour? And then, okay, so you gotta figure that out. Okay, so how many miles could it go there? MPH, okay, or how many miles? Question mark. Miles. It's going to be the same number of miles, okay, in every hour there, okay? Now to think about that, to remind you, MPH stands for miles per hour. That means if you drive the same speed, let's say I'm going 22 miles per hour. That means, and I never change my speed. That means if I go straight for 1 hour, I will travel 22 miles. If I keep going for a whole nother hour and I set the cruise and I never hit the brake, I never hit the gas, and I go 22 miles per hour, that means in another hour I'll go 22. Okay, so that would mean, okay, in my first hour I'd go 22. Okay, in my next hour I'd go another 22. Okay, so that means every hour, this is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, I'd go 22 miles. every single hour. That's what miles per hour means, okay? So if your parents are going 37 miles per hour, 37 mph, that means every hour they'll go 37 miles, okay? If you run 8 miles per hour, okay, that means if you ran for an hour, you would go 8 miles, okay? Take that information as you try to solve number 12, okay? And 12b, okay, you figure out this, okay, and you figure out how much it is for each hour. Well, you've only gone 6. So then they want to know, what if you go out to, oh, marker's dead, junk, okay? And you know what happened to that marker? One of my kids was drawing down here and they left the lid open. Ugh. Okay, and you go to 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, okay? Right here, they went 312 miles. This is what letter B is asking. How many miles is that? Okay, that's what 12b is asking, okay? 13, 14, 15, 16. I am not going to give you any hints other than on 13, please don't forget to borrow, okay? 52 minus 1346. You cannot do 0 minus 6, so don't switch it and do 6 minus 0 and write a 6 there. Oh, you can't do it. Okay, so go back. Can you borrow? No. Can you borrow? Yes. That becomes a 1. This becomes a 10. And you go through and you just keep working it like you know how to borrow. I'm not going to solve it. Okay. Number 14, the multiplication. Don't forget to add your carries. Okay. Number 15, 60 times 60. Okay. There's lots of ways to do that. You can do it like that. You can hang your 0. Okay. Or you can do it like this. Okay, and you would end up with a strike 1, strike 2, strike 3 there, okay, and your final answer would come there, okay? So you can do it any of those ways, but some of you can do it in your head. Some of you might want to remember to do this times this, which equals that, and then bring your zeros over, okay, and stuff like that, okay? Oh man, that's like a freebie, okay? Number 17, we just learned about yesterday, okay? So don't forget to think about what you learned yesterday. And then 18, I'm going to give you a hint on 18. It says 3 squared in the problem. 3 squared does not mean 3 times 2. 3 squared means 3 times 3 equals what? Okay, so make sure you do that there. And I'm going to give you another hint on number 19. Okay, number 19, it says 4.5 minus, okay, so you're going to have to start it up, always line up the decimal, minus some other stuff. But it says minus something that's in parentheses, which is 3.4 plus 0.27. Okay, so 3.4 plus 0.27. Okay, so this is going to come here. Okay, well, how do you do that? You also need to line up these decimals. Okay, so 3.4 plus, line up your decimal. Okay, where does your 2 go? Okay, add that up, but put your zeros in the right spot. Okay, put your zeros in the right spot. Then add that up. Then take this number and put it right there, and there's your magical final answer. Number 20, you should know how to do. We have done bazillions of those this year. Good luck, and you are allowed to go back and watch part of this again and pause it and use my tricks and my tips to help you with Test 21 prep. Bye-bye.